Well, here we are in beautiful Pineville, North Carolina in January, and it's about 60 degrees outside, so I thought we'd have to do our little session today outside. I just got back from playing a little frisbee golf and having church outdoors with a few friends of mine, talking about the Lord and loving Him together and loving one another. It was a good time, and here we are outside the well in Pineville, digging into the Song of Songs. Chapter 1, verse 4 says, "Draw me after you, and let us run together. The King has brought me into his chambers." Then somebody else starts speaking, and it's this editor says it's the chorus of people around saying, "We will rejoice in you and be glad. We will extol your love more than wine. Rightly do they love you." So if you remember my little description of how I see this book being played out as a dramatic play on a stage, I see how the bride is in the spotlight giving this monologue, right? And so she gets to this part, "Draw me after you, and let us run together." And the lights start coming up on the stage. She says, "The King has brought me into his chambers." And suddenly, it's full lights on the stage, and you see that she's surrounded by this entire chorus of people. All of the cast and characters are on stage together at the same time. And they all shout at once with one voice, "We will rejoice in you and be glad. We will extol your love more than wine. Rightly do they love you." And then all the lights go black. I think that'd be a cool way of doing it. So if you ever do a stage play of the Song of Songs, that's my recommendation for that part. But let's talk about what she's saying here. She says, "Draw me after you." There's a lot of significance to that phrase. She's recognizing that she can't come to the Lord unless He draws her. And that's simply reality. We can't come to God unless He draws us by His Spirit. And we should be thankful. Let us be thankful that He has drawn us, that He has called us to Himself in this way. So she's asking Him to draw her closer. And we can ask Him to do the same thing. Draw me closer to you. Because we can't just barge our way in. We can't just get closer to God. We need Him to draw us closer to Him. And I like the little phrase, "Draw me after you." Because that's really how it ought to be in our lives. That it should be us after Him. That we should come after Him. He should come first. But that we should follow Him also. And that we are after Him. I'm after you. And that we should be after Him. And she says, "And let us run together." After Jesus draws us to Himself and we know Him in that personal, intimate way, then we can run together. Then we can run through this life together and do things together. That's the excitement of this life in Christ, is doing things together with Him. And that's what I would call running together with Jesus. It's living this life with Him. And whatever He wants to do, whatever the whim of the Spirit is today, doing that together. He doesn't want you to live for Him. That might come as a shock to you. Jesus wants you to live with Him. He wants to live with you. He doesn't want you to run hard for Him. He wants you to run with Him at whatever pace He's going. You need to know the pace of the Spirit today. If He's going fast, then go fast. If He's going slow, then go slow. And if He's sitting down, then sit down with Him and enjoy the moment together. She says, "The King has brought me into His chambers." And again, that's the reality of it. We didn't come to God, He came to us. It's not that we have come to know Him, it is that we have come to be known. It's not that we found our way into God's heart or into God's chambers. He brought us. Think about the incarnation. God came down to where we were to bring us to where He is. He didn't say, come on up here, guys. Figure it out. Find your way up here to where I am. I'll be waiting for you. He didn't do that. He came down, He held our hand, and He raised us up. The King has brought me into His chambers. And the chambers are the inner place, the secret place, the place that not everybody has access to, that not everybody can go. And I'm saying that to say it's a special place. It's not the public place. It's not the common area. It's the secret place inside of His heart. Now, everybody is invited there, but I'm saying it's that special place. He brings us into that place. And then the chorus says, we will rejoice and be glad in you. We will extol or mention with praise your love more than wine. Rightly do they love you. They are responding to what has already been spoken about Jesus' love. That He's the one that draws us. He's the one that goes before us. He's the one that runs with us. He's the King who brings us into His chambers. That causes rejoicing and gladness to well up in our hearts. And we can't help but say, we will rejoice and be glad. It makes us glad. And they say, we will praise, we'll mention with praise your love more than wine. There's that phrase again. His love is better than wine. It's better than the pleasures of this world, as good as they are. I mean, the greatest things, the relationships we have, the resources we have access to. I'm thinking of wonderful food and drink and times of fellowship with people. Awesome things. But we will remember His love. We will mention His love. We'll praise His love more than these things, more than wine. His love is the best. And again, the chorus says, rightly do they love you. Whoever loves Jesus is right about that. They're right about loving Jesus. You know, you were right to love Jesus because He's lovable. He's amazing. We should love Him. So, today, may you be drawn after Jesus. Let His Spirit draw you, and may you run with Him at whatever pace and to whatever place He wants to run to. May you be brought by the King into His chambers, into that secret place in His heart, and may you rejoice and be glad. May you praise the love of God more than anything in the world, and may you be assured that it's right for you to love Him.